All right, so finally back with episode 2 of the E Squared Project. And I've been meaning to make this video for about 4 to 5 weeks now. But so much has been going on. I've been traveling heavily with tutoring back and forth on the road, vendor events every weekend almost, and then also doing my homework and making sure that things get done. So, and honestly, just really been in the spirit and the mood to do things outside of work. And that's been a lot to maintain, but by the grace of God, I am maintaining. Okay, so I am here finally giving you guys episode 2 of the E Squared Project. In this episode, I want to talk about the mistakes that we make as entrepreneurs. I personally think that I have made almost every beginner mistake there is for an entrepreneur to make. I say that because I have always been a jump the gun person, or put the carriage before the horse type person, or whatever parable you want to describe it. I've always been the one to kind of just go into the deep end and then learn how to maintain while I'm in the deep end, versus, you know, educating myself, trialing it out, you know, observing analysis, and then boom. I just feel like that take too long. But in the end, I end up having to go back and redo or relearn because I've already jumped into the deep end. And so it's kind of like now I gotta swim back into the shallow end so that I can really unlearn and understand the things that I overlooked because I jumped the gun. And that has been in developing my products, testing them out, quitting my job before I fully had enough students to make up the income that I was losing from my main job, understanding the business taxes and those different parts of owning a business so that you stay in compliance, because you don't want to mess that up. And then the mess ups in a business are expensive. Okay, it ain't no you get a little slap on the wrist or they send you a reminder, and you know, you better get it done. You know, it's none of that. It's like, oh, you ain't get it done, we're gonna send you a reminder, but we also gonna hit you with this fee. And like minimum fees with business stuff be about $50 minimum. You want to change something, you want to get something amended, $100. So it's very important that you take your time, really do the research, really learn what you need, really research the documents that you need for your business, so that you don't have to be at 3/4 of the finish line and then got to go all the way to the beginning of the race because you didn't do your paperwork right or you didn't do something right. But in the journey, I've enjoyed it because I consider myself a pretty quick learner, pretty fast learner. And so going back to learn the different things isn't that hard for me, but I'm not everybody, you know. So if you can take the opportunity to do the business classes and business courses before you start the business, do that. It's only going to prepare you. Yes, there are some people who really like to just get in it, like me, get in it and learn while you're in it, because you know you pick it up quickly. But if you can have those tools to prepare you before going into it, why not? And in today's time, there are a lot of resources that are offered to help you understand these things. Like last month I did a workshop that talked about business taxes. So it kind of gave an overview, and then they had another workshop where it gave you more of an in-depth detail of how to maintain and what forms to fill out for your business taxes, what bracket you will fall under, and different things like that, because it's important, especially when it comes to tax time and you trying to figure out how to align all these things for state and for federal, what type of sales tax you supposed to be taking in. There's another one. It's sales, and I can't think of the other one. I cannot think of the other one, but I'll have it up here somewhere. But those are different, and I didn't even realize it. One is what you take from the customer, and the other one is for, like, you can include it in your service if you don't take it from the customer. And so just understanding those small different things matter. They matter. Let's see, another mistake in ordering product. Listen, I've done a lot of small hobbies that I kind of turned into like little small businesses, but Miss Baker's Kindergarten Prep has really been my first legit, I'm serious, I be trying to do everything by the book business. But one thing that always trips me up, or has tripped me up in the past, is ordering a lot of supply and there not being that much demand for it, especially with clothing merchandise. Because let's be honest, in this day and time, everybody has clothing merchandise. Like right now, I got on my hat, but like I didn't do it trying to in a bulk. I didn't do it in a big bulk this time. Like I ordered like a set of 12 of these, and I've sold 10 of them. I still have 2 left. I have one. All my employees or family members who work with me, it's a part of their uniform. So because we're outside a lot at these vendors events, the sun gets in your face, so you know we wear our hats. And I love my hat. Like I love it. So some clothing merchandise is worth it, and some of it is not.
Go ahead, it's your time, baby. It's your time, baby. Get my baby.
Like t-shirts. I also have t-shirts, and I have a couple different t-shirts. And again, also for my employees. Listen to me, got enough employees. Also for my employees, when they come in and help me out, work for me, I provide them with one as well. And I'll also send out complimentary t-shirts to my tutor students and families and things like that, you know. I just had some inventory that I was getting rid of, and I gave all the surplus to my tutor students. Why? Because they are the age that I'm designing it for. Why wouldn't I give them some of the merchandise? And so I really enjoy doing that. But as far as like creating t-shirts and ordering them beforehand, it's just a lot. It's a lot because sometimes the design may not turn out how you want, and now you've ordered this bulk, or you've had this bulk of shirts done and your shirts are messed up, and what you gonna do with them? You know, that has happened to me. Or the price of it. Like honestly, if you try to order by the shirt, you're paying $25 per shirt, and that's not going to be feasible for your business unless you know you running it like that. But let's be honest, not a lot of people are out here buying $25 shirts. They're not. So I did kind of just dial back from doing the clothing merchandise, because I was like, well, that's not even a lane that I have to be in. So right now I focus more so on my books. Like my books are low price to create, order, and then I can sell them for a profit, you know. So I really focus on the books. Like having a book is really like a good way of passive income, active income. There are low costs to start depending on which way you go and how you promote your book. I went the Amazon KDP way, and that was affordable for me. Everybody else, you know, if you have a publisher that wants to publish your book, then that is awesome too, because you know they take on the cost and things like that. However, I didn't have a publisher, so I decided to self-publish. And there are mixed reviews on self-publishing. You don't get as much spotlight and things like that. It's all in how you promote your book, because you never know who could come across your book, whether you were published with a traditional company or if you did it self-publishing. Like it just depends on whose hands it gets in, you know. So I don't knock it. And I hope to try the traditional publishing way with one of my upcoming books. But, you know, we'll just see. But again, it's great in doing the research. And I will say, with my books, I did do the research before I ordered a whole bunch of copies. The first trial book that I did it with Staples, just to kind of see how the book would look and lay out. And then I was trying to see, okay, how much would it cost if I just did it like this through Staples? And that was gonna cost me like $12 a book to make. So that means I would have been having to really like sell the book for $24 to make a profit. And I'm like, some people may buy it. Like, listen, if your pockets can do that, do that. But I'm like, I want to be more accessible to families, you know, to the children, and I want to make my books more accessible and not that expensive. So really going the KDP way was helpful in me getting low cost and offering low cost. And not saying I'm trying to be cheap, but I want to be affordable. And let's be honest, if you're doing the work and you're doing it right, the fruit gonna come. You don't have to charge extra much unless that's what you want to do. Again, I'm not knocking you. Do what is best for you, and this was what is best for me. And so I've been learning that. Right now, I am taking heed in what I've done in the past and not jumping the gun. I've been learning more so the HR part and payroll part of my business, because now I have, my mom works for me part-time, and so I want to pay her right. So I've been trying to I've been learning more about how to do payroll and HR things, so that when tax time come around, I can give her a W-2 the right way and things like that. So really taking the time and not rushing to just go ahead and do it has been one of the biggest mistakes. And also ordering supply when there's not a strong demand, especially in clothing merchandise. It's just because there are so many clothing brands out there. Like, it's heavy competition. I mean, there's so many of everything out there. So the competition is on for anything that you're selling. However, I just felt like that wasn't fully my lane. Now, will I put out a product here or there? Yes, I will. But is clothing my main focus for my business? No, it's not. Educational services are. Educational materials are. And then, like, clothing is like a pop here, a pop there. Will I have like business shirts or business merch like this? Yes, of course, that can be for purchase or giveaway or whatnot, but that is not my main focus. So like I keep in my lane, and that is beneficial to me. Let's see, any other mistakes that I have made. Oh yeah, quitting my job before I fully had the students. So like when COVID started, before COVID, I decided to go full time into my tutoring business, and I had a couple students, and I was able to maintain. And then COVID hit, and it kind of like really shut everything down. Not too bad though. It kind of like helped me, but it kind of also stifled me. So I did end up going back into the classroom throughout COVID to help bring in some income. And then I stayed in the classroom. I did actually 2 different classrooms. I did NC pre-K for a year, and then I did kindergarten for like a year and a couple months. And that's when I left my job for real. And this past February, left my job for real, and then really stepped fully into tutoring. And I've been doing that since February. I haven't had no other job but tutoring since February. And when I say grace and God and really just taking it one day at a time, because I'm like, oh man, I only got this amount of students. And then it keeps growing. It's growing. Like, my business is growing. Like, I'm to the point where I'm booked this summer, you know? And so it was like I took that leap of faith, which we have to do, which is what we do as entrepreneurs. Like, you take a leap of faith to really give your business a chance. Like, that's what you end up doing. And so that's what I've been doing, and it's been great. It's been great. Like, when they say, if you find something that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That's what I feel like. I don't feel like I work. I feel like I, help my students. We go over what we need to go over. I still have a full day. I still have them from morning to evening. I'm still working full time. And you know what? That is something that is hard for like my dad to understand, I think, because he be asking, you work today? What kind of work you do? You was at the house working? Yes. Like, I don't have to always leave to do my job. And that is one of the benefits of being an entrepreneur. I can do it with wherever and however it best suits me and my clients that I work with. So that is great. That is great. And so, honestly, the mistake that I thought I made has really turned into an ample and abundant blessing. So it's really just taking those leaps, stepping out on faith. And the mistakes are honestly just lessons. They're just lessons that you learn about your business. You learn about yourself. You learn, okay, that this didn't work, so you give it another try in a different way. And that's honestly with anything. It's not just with business. That's it. That's with life. It didn't work this way. Okay, am I going to repeat it again, or am I going to, choose another path to get to my desired outcome? And I've been learning different ways and different things on how to maintain, manage, bring in different things, kind of not rushing. That's one thing, not rushing. Don't rush it. And not trying to do so many things at one time. That is one thing for me. I be trying to go ahead and plan it, put it out there, boom, I'm ready. And then I don't give myself enough time to actually do what I'm planning to do. And so that has been another thing that I've kind of calmed down on doing. Because if it's meant for me to do it, the time will come and I don't have to rush and do it now. And so that has helped me a lot in calming down and just really taking care of my business where it's at, so that it can grow and be strong and foundational. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for where I started, where I've come, where I'm going, and the mistakes that I've learned and did along the way, paying money out, the opportunity to communicate and speak with other business owners who shared their mistakes that they've made in their business and how they've learned from them. So check it out. So as an entrepreneur, what are some mistakes that you have made on your journey that you've learned from?
I think the biggest mistake that I've learned is thinking that you have to have everything in order to start a business. It's okay to start with just one thing, one product, one launch. If you're starting something, and for example, I make soap, there are 1,001 different molds, there are 1,000,001 different colors, there are 1,001 different fragrances. I feel like the first year or two that I really started with my cold process soap business, I bought entirely too many molds. I bought every shade of every color, 1,000 fragrances, and it's not necessary because you might not like all of them. So it's okay, start with something basic. Do, instead of 20 molds, get 5. See which ones you like best, see which ones sell best, and then focus on those and add more products as you go. So I think that's the biggest thing, thinking you have to do everything all at once instead of just narrowing down on something, finding what your target audience would want. Everything else, it's nice to have extra, but, if a 6.5 ounce bar of soap is what people want, that's what they're going to get. They don't care about the little 3 ounces or 4 ounces. So finding something that works, only doing a few, and then sticking with it.
I agree with that. And please share your business.
I am Jamie Thompson, owner of the Vaude Shop, VAUDE SHOPPE.
Okay. So tell us who you are and what's your business.
My business is Car Interior Design, handmade jewelry, and accessories. I sell hats and fedora hats.
All right, and tell us, on your journey as an entrepreneur, what are some mistakes that you've made that you've learned a lesson from?
Trusting a lot of event coordinators, running events, and some of the events suck. You know what I mean? Can I give example? It was like an event I did a couple years ago in Durham. Not even a couple years ago, a couple weeks ago. So we paid $100. We got vendors paying $100, right? So we get there and we in somebody's backyard. I mean, serious, we in somebody's backyard. And then they're passing out free pre-rolls, free CBDs. So we got people walking around like zombies. So a lot of there. That's my thing. What I need to do is start searching who's the event coordinator, where's the address, where's the location, so I know before I go and do what I spend my money. That's my issue.
Thank you. Okay. So please first tell us who you are and your business.
Hello, I'm Shaylise Hardy, and my business is She Sells CMOS.
All right. And tell us, as an entrepreneur, what are some mistakes that you've made thus far in your journey that you've learned from?
I would say the biggest mistake that I've made is preparation. I tend to jump out, and when someone asks me to do a product or they have an idea, I go ahead and make the product or do the idea without thinking of the consequences. An example would be for CMOS, labeling is very important. People need to know, just like the FDA recommends, they need to know what's in it, the ingredients, instructions for usage, shelf life, things of that nature. And sometimes having those labels done, having a chemist to assist you with your formulations, doing research and development and trying out your products before you sell them out to the public, that's one thing that I had to learn, that I had to take a step back, slow down, write everything out, create lists, list of product costs, list of raw materials, create a spreadsheet so that you stay organized for a tab of your customers, your tab of your inventory, just basically being prepared for anything. And if something comes along, you can do that damage control and know where you did wrong, or say, oh, my money's not right, but you have a spreadsheet of everything. But one thing I would say is, once you get disciplined in your business yourself, I transitioned over to Shopify and using Fiverr for business cards and logos, but just utilizing your resources to make sure that your money does its due diligence. But yeah, that's everything.
Beautiful. And tell us how we can find you.
You can reach me at She Sells CMOS on Instagram, Facebook, or .com.
So this has been episode 2 of the E Square Project, where we talked about the mistakes that we make as entrepreneurs. And don't let these mistakes hinder you from starting your business. They're just giving you a guide to don't make the same mistakes that I did, basically. If someone is telling you something, take it, and no one is saying you have to do exactly how they did or exactly what they did, but kind of take what they're telling you and adjust it and align it to what would be helpful for you in understanding your business, so that you don't make costly mistakes, because that's what they are. They're costly. And to make sure that you stay in compliance with whatever you're selling, whatever you're doing. It's important to keep your business in good name, good standard, and good growing. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and be on the lookout for the next episode. I still don't have a topic for it yet, but be on the lookout for it, because I'm giving you raw, real education and entrepreneurship, like I ain't got no suit on. I ain't giving y'all the beginner and not the end. Like, this what it be. And if you followed my journey, you see the pretty, and I've showed y'all some of the ugly. So it's fun. It's fun, it's interesting, and it's worth it. It's really worth it because it's yours. It's something that you own. It's something that you put your energy, your sweat, your tears, your faith into. And so, yeah. So, join us again on the next episode of the E Square Project. Bye.